This is something we've done in the past, and we're doing it again this year along the same lines.
How do you cut $8.5 million in your budget? Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
That's how much the University of Nebraska is expected to cut for the 2018-19 fiscal year.
Today, they floated some ideas of how to reach that goal. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Joe Harris has more in tonight's top story. Joe?
That's right, Rod and Megan. The university has been facing major budget cuts. Today, the board announced the first set of budget proposals. On Wednesday, UNL announced its first budget cut proposals. They would cut almost $4 million of the $8.5 million in expected cuts. They include shifting state appropriation funded operations and staff to fee-supported systems.
That's a reallocation. It reduces our reliance on the state's allocated funds, but it maintains those salaries and those operations through another means of revenue.
Smith says he doesn't think that will result in additional tuition increases, but some students would see increased fees for parking permits, programs, and facilities under the proposal because it also calls for shifting the Innovation Campus bus service from state-appropriated funding to fees. One cut in the proposal is for $500,000 from Rural Futures Institute's budget. RFI Executive Director Charles Schroeder says this will reduce their ability to work on projects that connect faculty, students, and lawmakers on a wide array of rural issues.
We think this work is important. A reduction of this nature obviously limits our capacity to do some of that work, but we're going to continue to use the resources available to do all that we can to help rural communities and rural community leaders.
Other items in the proposal include cutting the executive vice chancellor's funding to summer school, merging the communications and marketing staff, and no longer using an office space in Norfolk. Now at this time, these are just recommendations. They're not yet official. The university will announce a second set of budget cut proposals on December 6th, and UNL has announced its first set of budget cuts for this year.
All right, Joe Harris in our top story tonight. Thank you, Joe.